Accept your death.
Can I start by saying that Raiden is a very frustrating character to play against, and has been so since day one in some capacity. You know, whether it's just the annoying safety, the range, the teleport.
He's got y'all up in your feelings today.
Yeah, I mean, it was a close set. I played in a tournament today for reference. I just wanted to check out my new team that I've been playing, the Scorpion Shujinkydink, just to see how I do.
Which tournament, Dink?
Champions of the Realms Cross Rips Arena. They're doing a collaboration, I guess, right now. So I'll post a link to their tournament in the description. I've noticed that people say that word differently. I don't know if it's a dialect thing, but I've heard tournament and tournament. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's like regional dialect, like sort of thing. We all know, like people say mountain and mountain, you know, and mountain. Around here, we call mountains.
Get rid of that T.
But it's mountain. It's too, you know.
It's that T. It's that T.
Tournament. Route.
Route 66. Route 66. We're getting a little off route here. We should get to our comments, actually, as we do every week.
Oh, it's already started.
You know, it has begun. I've been working on them, you know what I'm saying? First comment here from Brown Boy. Appreciate the shout out, guys. Love the content. Keep it up. A question I have, though, is what do you think is keeping Darius behind from other cameos? Personally think the inputs are very irregular and finicky. I think if they somehow made the inputs much easier, we'd see Darius a bit more. And I picked this comment because it seems like in some capacity, Darius always gets brought up. Just for us to either, you know, talk bad on or whatever, or just go over it's just like there's always like a Darius segment. It's not just me. You know, even having Blue on, you know, Darius comes. Of course, Darius would come up, and I got to ask him about that.
Right.
But I mean, if
I think the answer to that we've talked about before, right? Like he's a cameo that requires some time investment, not just kind of like grab him because you like what he does for your knockdown pressure sort of thing. You've got to flesh it out and put in the time. I agree. The inputs, since they just limit everything to the cameo button, right? I think second to Darius is like Shujinkydink. There's so much going on with it, and it doesn't look pretty, like very straightforward. I think all it's like lacking is just more time investment with people just across the board to kind of, because he's still underused, like way underused compared to like other cameos. But he seems, I don't know.
He's good now.
He seems fine.
He gives you armor.
Yeah.
He steals bars of meter from you. He gives you crazy mix. And his cooldowns are okay now. So, I mean, I think this is the first time that I'm actually going to say this, but Darius is a pretty good cameo. You know? I think he's worth using.
And if you have trouble with some of that Darius stuff, right? Like he does the little, they do the little spin kick on block. The big old takes up half the screen, three hits or whatever, and it hits all around him, behind him, and stuff too. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I forget the name of the move.
Whirlwind kick, I think. Tornado kick.
You get the flawless block. The last hit. It's like -15 or something. Full combo, no pushback.
Yeah, I did that once in my set against Blue the other night. I was so happy. I flawless blocked it, but totally missed my punish. I was just happy about it.
I did it on accident. Yeah, I did it on accident and got it. And then, I don't know, it's part of like, it's like a really good, generous, if you're the kind of person that just tries to do it, but you miss a lot of the tighter windows, those are like the easier ones to catch. Like I got it on accident doing just like what I normally do, trying to time between hits or whatever.
If you're looking for sets against a good Darius, we got Blue Res Rush up in the Bonehawk Discord. You can join for $1. Link in description.
Do that overhead heel that knocks you directly into the clone. It looks so cool. Like the animation looks cool.
Oh yeah, I that setup is dirty. There's some dirty setups with Sub-Zero and Darius, like some really, really dirty ones. Thanks for the question there, Brown Boy. Next is from Harvey. Harvey has commented on our podcast before. I'm actually just going to leave this up so you can read it. So it's kind of a long one, but the main idea is like adding new moves from previous games. So like Kobujutsu for Tanya, Dragon Naughty Naughty, that kind of a thing.
Naughty.
That's what I always called that.
With her pole.
Naughty
with the pole.
I won a tournament with that variation one time. Did I ever tell you that?
I think you did tell me that. I think that is one of the coolest looking variations in all of MKX.
Yeah,
Is
super
Dragonauta
swag.
Naginata.
That's what, yeah, I always fumble over that, so we just go naughty, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
She's frustrating. But I mean, adding moves like so I guess that would really make it like an ultimate Mortal Kombat kind of a thing, right? Like, you have Quan Chi. Like, at the end of this game's life, you have Quan Chi, and he has every move from every NRS game he's been in. He's got, like, the Rune Trap, and, like, Trance, and, like, Puggles, and, like, he's already got the Warlock kick, so, like, there's that. But, I mean, that's obviously, like, a over-exaggerated version of that. But, I mean, I think that would be kind of cool. Give them, like, classic moves that they don't necessarily have, per se. I don't know. What, like, can you think of any characters in particular that you would want to see stuff added for, Hater?
Well, I mean, they brought the clone back in this game. That was like a glaring omission from MK11. I guess they had the version of that Frost Orb that was supposed to be kind of clonish, but it didn't really function in the same way.
No.
I think they were trying to get away from it, and they just couldn't do it this time. It's too much a part of that character's identity.
It's true.
You know, I can't think of any that characters really, really need that are missing. As far as like special moves, nothing off the top of my head anyway. I think that starts getting into dangerous territory when we're talking about character balance and stuff too, or how different these moves would need to be in order to fit within the balance of the character. Like that Naginata thing. I mean, that was basically like Sindil's overhead from MK11. Could you imagine them giving that, like with that same range and stuff like that, to this version of Tanya?
That would be
so
insane.
It's called dumb and stubby, like the 4-2 she already has.
Right.
Or something. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. That's an interesting question. I think and this was, something I saw on the old MK Twitter timeline this week, is a lot of these old classic outfits. Why are they not in the game yet? Like MK4 Reiko and MK4 Tanya, MKX Tanya, Deception Ashra. Like these just like really easy. It's like, do we really need a 13th ninja skin? Come on now. I know that they're like the more popular character. But even then, and they can keep them so simple.
You can keep the MK4 Quan Chi. That is my least favorite Quan Chi skin of all time ever. The freaking pajama suit, like, no thank you. That is just
the meme suit. That's the meme Quan Chi.
I know.
That's where it all.
It's like that's worse than the Sundo Quan Chi outfit. Like, it is just so bad in my opinion. I don't know what they were going there.
His jumper, his little jumper,
his onesie.
And another, yeah.
How
they need to give him like Jury's outfit 3 from Street Fighter 6.
Bro.
They need to give that to Quan Chi. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And my wallet's coming out for that one. So, good question, Harvey. Appreciate you. Last one from DeAndre here. Good conversation. You mentioned you're having a character crisis. I'm surprised you haven't gotten either Katana, Reiko, or Melina. I feel like their playstyles all fit what you might be looking for in a bonus character. They're all very strong and can be oppressive with the right teammates. And this is, I think I tried to pick Melina up at one point in time, but it didn't last longer than a day. I don't remember why.
You were messaging me her when you were away. It was either Combo Breaker or Evo. And when you're messaging me, you were saying that you might, you were going to look into her and Shujinkydink when you got back home. I don't remember which tournament that was.
That was probably Evo. There was a lot of time that I had to just chill and lab stuff. So, but yeah, I don't really remember that going anywhere. I think there was something about Melina that just turned me off of her as soon as I found out what it was. And I can't remember exactly what it is, but I don't know. As for Reiko, that character just annoys me. I don't like his design, his lore, or nothing about him. I don't want to play him. And then Katana, I don't think has the best synergy with Shujinkydink, but I haven't looked into it too much. That's one character that I might actually try and attempt to pick up at some point in the future, but as of right now, I haven't dug into that yet.
She's like a different sort of zoner in this game, right?
Yeah, space control.
I could see you making that work, just like you did Katana in MK11.
I continually forget that I played Katana in that game. Like,
that was one of your last characters, like towards the end of the life of that game.
Yeah, I went through, like, after the last patch, I kind of went through, and I mean, I think I kind of played her in some capacity for a while, but that when I really dug into her was after the last patch, when I kind of did like my carousel of characters, and I think every Combat League season I would do a different character.
A different character, yeah.
Like Kano and Jax.
That's how you picked up Spawn.
Right, that's right. Because I tried Spawn out and I ended up absolutely loving that character. He's super fun. Which is unlike me to play a guest character in Mortal Kombat. But I mean, they didn't have Quan Chi, so what are you going to do? But speaking of Character Crisis, I did want to update people on my current team. Just a quick little update here. Scorpion, Shujinkydink. Because I'm getting very obnoxious with it, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I could hear Hater giggling away today, just watching me just forward 3, forward 3, forward 3, forward 3, forward 3, 4, or whatever it was. Just
yeah,
over
I
and
could
over
feel
again.
how annoying it was for the opponent. I've been there so many times, and I just know, you know what's going through their head.
When
they're
do you
going to
press
hold
a
it, they're
button?
going to challenge, and man.
Yeah, it has been a lot of fun. Basically, my main strategy with it is kind of got them down in the corner, and then with the forward 3-4, you can cancel into Shujinkyo's mid, and then it becomes like a 4-way guess. Am I going to stop after the first hit, the second hit, the first Shujinkyo hit, or I'm going to commit to the whole thing? And if you guess wrong at any point in time, I can hit confirm that into Shujinkyo's launcher. Boom, big dammy. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we saw that happen a lot today.
So I've been having a lot of fun. The footage I've posted on YouTube, I can see the views aren't doing super well, so I'm not going to like spam you all with that kind of gameplay. But I will continue to post an update on it, probably just until Chaos Reigns comes out, and then toot toot, it's on to the Sektor train, baby.
I smell a transition.
On that note, let's go over the Kombat Kast, because there's a lot to go over. There's a lot to unpack from the beginning all the way to the end. But we're not going to start at the beginning because the first half of it is like trailers and a 10-minute intro. I could go over that, but I don't feel that would be widely well received. I think
No, let's skip to all the good shit.
so. I think
sure.
we're going to start with the small like changes that they've announced here. So I think we're going to show Havoc first, I think. Yeah, so that first part there. So they sped up his armor is what they say after that.
He has an armored reversal that he can use to punish gaps now, which means that he can wake up with it, and it's not going to take 128 frames or whatever, 60 whatever frames.
No, I wish I knew Havoc better, because I know that he has like 2 different hit animations off of that move, correct? Like one is it if it's hit in one in a certain situation.
Right, so it's like Shao's armored move. If the armor breaks, it won't launch. You just get knocked down. But if the armor isn't broken, then it's a meterless launcher. So that's kind of my question now. They've sped this up. Are they just going to keep it the way that Shao Kahn's is?
That's exactly.
And give him the launch if the meter's not broken? And does he still have 4 hits of armor or whatever? 4 or 5 hits of armor, whatever it is? I doubt that. But I'm glad that they acknowledged that move and that extra armor, I'm sure, is why he has the extra 100 health. Classic kind of like armor using character sort of move. Give them an extra little health buffer so they can actually use their armor without dying for it.
Right.
So I'm glad they kind of like acknowledged that wasn't quite working out with the way this game is shaken out, and he needed some love, especially if he's going to be the main antagonist of their first big expansion for year 2. So the combination of those things, it's going to be cool to see what people are doing with him.
I kind of think that's kind of like part of the reason why they didn't address Havoc so much sooner, is they knew that they were going to make some changes coming up when he was the big main bad guy. So, but we're on the same wavelength there too. I think that I was curious about whether the properties of the armor move would stay the same, or if they take those away and just make it a better reversal. I don't know.
I could see them taking it away. I think they'll take away the multiple hits of armor. He might get like 2 hits or something, or they could keep it like Ashra sort of thing. He could have another sort of Ashra thing, but she's still unique because she can cancel hers for flash parry. He can't cancel his, and like I said, Shao's also launches unless the meter's broken, and his is 10 frames, so I don't really see a problem with that.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. What's next on the? So they did this whole sequence, right? So they started with this Liu Kang gap punish with the armored reversal, and then what did they do?
And then from here, so there's that instant air kick that he does.
Looks like a dive kick.
It looks like the jankiest dive kick I've ever seen, but like an instant air dive kick. So I wonder.
It looks like MKX neutral jump punch and MK11 short hop, like up 3, had a baby, and now it's an MK11.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that could be really annoying if that's an overhead, because that looked pretty quick. It looked like it could be pretty quick. But maybe that's sort of the idea of like, you know, putting a short hop in the game, like a reference to the short hop kind of a thing.
Like that's his overhead, right? And it's got a little bit of an execution barrier depending on how your instant airs are.
Yeah.
I wonder what the range will be on it.
I don't know. It looks like it's, or how instant he can, if he can like, has to do it like.
Let's see it one more time. What does the leg hit? Does it like disjoint the leg, like where it gets all like the tissue and stuff here that's like holding it all together? Okay, so there's our reversal.
Kind of like snaps it a little bit.
It looks like the low from his back 2-2 string. To me. Okay.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
Well, that's gonna be annoying, and that's a launcher. But he spent a bar.
Yeah, and so I think Tyler mentioned that you can spend a bar to make it a launcher, so that move might exist outside of that, just as a regular annoying overhead splat.
I wonder what the knockdown advantage will be, if it's going to be one of those like plus 55, you know, where you go sliding across the screen while your legs are like hanging in the air,
right?
And flop down eventually, get these ridiculous knockdowns.
And then from there, I think they go into his new launcher.
Yeah, his new low. Yeah, so that's a meterless low launcher, they said.
And is that off an existing string?
What's he doing it off of? That might be off, because he does have an overhead in something. I don't know for certain, because I'm a fake Havoc player. Yeah, I see. I think someone's going to have to correct me. I know he's got an overhead as a second hit, and it looks like he mixed that up. I don't know if that's a special move or if that's a new string extension, but I know he's got an overhead in there somewhere.
Yeah, so that could be, I don't know, maybe it's fuzzyable, maybe it's not. I
was like forward 1 or standing 2 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks pretty quick. So that'll be something to look out for. I don't really have much more to say on that. I mean, it's cool. You know, I like that they're giving new moves, you know, kind of like really freshens up the game rather than just balancing everything. They're adding more things to the game. I like that way of doing it outside of just straight up balancing things like they did in MK11.
Agreed.
And then from here we go into the tether, which I think I had to ask Qual about this because I didn't see what the difference was there. And I think it's that there's not as much pushback after he hits the tether to allow you to go into combo easier.
Yeah, it was the spacing.
Spacing kind of awkwardly, so. Happy for Havoc players. Don't really care it myself. I mean, I'll be labbing against it for sure, but I won't be putting too much time into that, so. And then from here, I think we go to, is it Jax? Rain? Oh yeah, Raid and Sub-Zero. So the Sub-Zero parry. So, okay, so the parry hits and it freezes them, right? For full combo, pretty straightforward.
Full combo. Traditional freeze.
Or you turn yourself into the ice clone, which is such a little, oh man, what a detail.
He throws you as the clone. That's so cool. That first time, we watched the Kombat Kast all together, right? And it didn't make it onto the channel for a variety of reasons. But that first, the reaction that everybody had, that was like my first big double take, sort of thing.
That's, I don't know, it's a nice way to have the clone toss make it into the game. And like, to be honest, I didn't think Sub-Zero needed any buffs. I thought he already does like a lot by himself. But again, adding more things to the game, I think that's cool. And then when he does throw you, it's advantage on block, which is actually pretty nuts. So, I mean, you're not wasting that move. Sometimes there are moves that you like throw out or whatever, and it just doesn't work, and you've just wasted your move, wasted your cameo. There's like pretty much like no way to really waste that. You're getting something out of it anyways, right?
I would expect that to work the same way as the 2-in-1 cancel he already has. So he can go armor into shoulder, and now he can go parry into clone, like sort of thing. It's not reusing another move, but I'm wondering if the parry costs half a bar, and then if you go into the clone that takes the other half, or if it's just like if you hold it down, it's like a parry feint or something, and you throw the clone instead.
That would make a lot of sense. Yeah, like each of them takes half a bar.
We'll see what happens. I think that all the OG cameos, whether they're balanced or good or not, like they're just so outclassed by the DLC by just the sheer amount of things in their toolkit. They're just like a little. We talk about it all the time. They're basic but strong, like really straightforward, but kind of dry compared to the rest. And we saw that Sonya's getting a new move and stuff. Jax is we'll get to Jax here.
Yeah, Sonya's looked like
so
a.
I would expect Kano and stuff too to probably get something.
Yeah, Sonya got that upward cartwheel thing that we saw in the. I think it was
after she dive kicks off of you.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
That what happens. We'll get to it here.
I'd have to look at that again. My guess is that Kano is going to get some sort of like choke move that you can use as an ender. That's my.
Oh yeah.
Similar to like his MKX or MK9.
Or an up ball. What about like an up ball?
I'm scared of up ball. I feel like that could be too strong if done incorrectly, but maybe like an anti-air one. As long as it like hits in the air and like can't use in block pressure, because he's already got the other Kano ball for that.
What if they give him an air one, and so like your Melina Kano, and you do a low side, and you got an overhead air ball coming at you too?
No thanks.
Or something.
No thank you. I'll leave that to MKX or some craziness like that.
Or he does the cannonball, but from the other direction, so it knocks them towards you, like Mavado's forward cameo, Black Dragon versus Red Dragon sort of thing would give him, an extra, that might be a summon, or work just like Mavado's, where they have to be in a juggle state first or something.
That's not a bad idea. I would prefer that over like overhead low, nonsense. But
yeah, we got enough of that bullshit in this game.
Yeah,
I need them to think outside the box.
I had the pleasure of dealing with Sindel Tremor today, and that was a time that I had. Lots of guesses were made. So then we're going on to Jax here. Oh, I'm a little too far ahead. Quan Chi on the screen, you love to see it. So he gets the gotcha grab. Looks like he armors you up, and then he's comboing your Kameo. I'm sure that's probably damaging the other opponents as well. How much damage? Who knows? Now, when they first showed this in the Sektor trailer, he hit them one time, and in this one, he's holding them forever and punching them like 4 times. So I'm wondering if you can hold it. When you bring him out for the ground pound, right? The bar changes, and he's got that whole meter, and until he hits something, like hits the opponent or whatever, he's not going to go away. He does, sits out there like 2 or 3 times, or however long it takes for that bar to go down. I wonder if he has a similar bar for the duration of that sort of stuff, like extra grabs, because that fits like classic grab gotcha, or classic Jax gotcha grab anyway, right? Like you mash the button for more hits and stuff. That's kind of what I thought, is like maybe, like my guess was that each hit takes a quarter of the Kameo meter, maybe. So like if you hit the Kameo meter 4 times, then you do 4 punches, but you use your whole bar. And you mentioned he's armored, so he can actually like enforce that. And someone else pointed out that Frost's ice carpet also looked like it absorbed a hit, had a yellow hit of armor. So I think I would expect multiple Kameo moves to be getting armor to not get beat out in neutral, like sort of thing. To like trying to prevent trades and see more Kameo interaction, kind of how they buff the recovery on the Frost Orb cancels and stuff, right? Like it gives you a lot more opportunities to kind of like use it, even if you're fainting it, and not get punished for it. You're not over committed or whatever. Yeah. So I like that idea. We'll see what happens, what the ripple effect is, the stuff they haven't shown us yet. One thing that's I was kind of thinking about for this whole sequence is like you can't break at all, because your Kameo is stuck being punched on the screen. Yep. So that whole combo's happening. You're not breaking. Can't recharge either, so it goes on cooldown, gets grayed out, and I'm sure it's not recharging during that, right? Well, we don't have a UI, but I would guess that she's not recharging. Yeah, that would make sense to me. Let's go through. I think that's it for the small changes and stuff.
I like Jax. Do you think that's a good move for Jax? That definitely makes him more appealing.
It's certainly something.
Yeah, he's used for some teams, but he's not super common.
I know that he's like the meta for Katana, thanks to Retro. Like some of the setups are disgusting.
He has a couple real meta teams and a lot of like Takeda right now. A lot of it is Takeda Jax, and I don't know. Between that and the Sub-Zero change, that's cool. And those are cameos that you already see here and there that people already know and use. So I'm already seeing. You've probably noticed since the last patch or the things the last couple of waves of adjustments that they've done. I'm seeing a lot more cameo variety, like when I watch online tournaments and things like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really nice to see. It's the game is definitely, I think, in the best place that it's been in. There's some strong things for sure. Sindel Tremor, Homelander Farah. Farah's still out here doing Farah things, but it doesn't feel like overwhelmingly that. You know, it's not like you saw Peacemaker everywhere or Homelander at the start everywhere, you know, like it's
Chameleon with everybody, like literally everybody all the time.
Literally everybody. Yeah. So you're seeing all sorts
there
of
for a little bit too, you know, and it's just those without one adjustment, right? Or those couple little adjustments. And then that's enough to discourage people that are on the outskirts. The people that are really into the team are still playing the team. And people that are just kind of like riding the wave, the team of the week, they move on to whatever the next flavor of the week's going to be. Or, you know, whoever's giving them that consistency.
Right. So I don't know. I'm really enjoying the game right now. It's so fun to play, like win, lose, draw. Except when I play Quan Chi is not quite as fun. But I still do enjoy it when he works, he works. Like he's very oppressive zoning. But it does suck getting steamrolled and killed in 2 combos. So there's that. I'm not here to complain about Quan Chi. Oh, I'm always here to complain about Quan Chi, but we're here to talk about Cyrax and Sektor. So we're getting into Cyrax here. What did they show off first with her? Oh, just her normals and stuff. Overall, I think she looks like she's got some pretty good... That wall jump is actually sick. That's like some Injustice 2 shenanigans right there. I wonder what kind of setups and what kind of use, or if there's any limitations on how that thing works. Can you only do it in one certain height, or can you control when you do it? Kind of looks like there might be a little bit of a control there.
Yeah, or like when you mean like as far as the height or how far she like pushes herself out? Do you think she's got like a shallow jump, then a jump that would actually go over your head if she was cornered?
Well, I guess
you're cornered.
I
like,
guess
sort of thing.
Both probably, like how the trajectory.
I'm way more
works.
interested in what we just saw happen there, that command grab.
Yeah, that's why I paused it here because I want to talk about that. So that's kind of what she had in MK9. Was this command grab that you could set up with all these little bomb setups, and that's what created all the brokenness. And now they've decided to give it back to her. Now, it's not a true mid, because they said it hits crouching blocking opponents, is what my guess is. But still...
They said crouching blocking opponents?
Yeah, I think they actually
Is that it? You have to be crouching?
No, I think they were saying in
like
the context,
Goros?
like it'll also hit crouching blocking opponents.
Oh, okay, so it is a mid.
Yeah, so it's mid, but like not a true mid, because like a neutral duck would probably beat it. It's kind of how I took that to be.
Oh, well then that's just like a high command grab, right? Any other high command grab will still hit you if you're crouch blocking.
Right. So similar to like how Reiko's works, I guess.
Reiko and Geras and...
I keep forgetting Geras has one. Brown Boy doesn't use it enough. You hear that, Brown Boy? I'm giving you some tips.
Yeah, you hear that, Brown Boy? He uses that shit on me all the time.
Well, maybe I'm just, I don't know.
He's like, this scrub's gonna block, watch, huh? Got him.
Got him. Okay, so that's kind of the command grab. It'll be interesting to see how that... When we have these little twirly little ballerina things that she does, I'm not really sure how I feel like about that. Like, I guess there's some guessing and some baiting that could happen, but I don't know. It doesn't look very good to me. It looks pretty slow.
This is where it kind of started to lose me. I saw a lot of people really excited about it and thinking that it looked really flashy and stuff. And I think the idea that you can hold on to it. So, you know, with the setups and her kind of like mobility and some feints and things, that's just like one more thing. Like, is she going to do it? Is she not? Like just watching people charge things up like right in front of your face, or... You know, you have somebody conditioned, so you just like let it rip. But I'm not sure how I feel about this ballerina been just like in the character in general. It's so weird seeing Cyrax as a character just doing that. And I don't know how it
is a
fits
little.
this whole exoskeleton, cyborg, whatever sort of thing. That's like a little too elegant. I feel like they really made her kind of acrobatic and sporty, and then she gets like this really elegant sort of thing like Manon from Street Fighter 6. All of a sudden she's a ballerina. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I'm kind of scratching my head looking at it, but it's cool.
A couple strings from older MK games that they kind of mention, like this little flippity-doo. I think MK9 had that. I think also Deadly Alliance.
Look at her dash. So you can see them double dashing after the knockdowns there. Do you, how do you feel about that?
That doesn't
Do you
look...
feel like that's pretty standard or kind of crappy?
It looks a little bit on the slower side. I won't say like terrible, but like definitely a little bit on the slower side, I think. But I mean, compared to other top characters, at least her forward dash anyways, I don't think we see her back dash at all in this. Man, their design is so cool. I love that move. I love that that's a normal. That's actually hilarious. I love when they do things like that.
With the grenade in it, that is a string.
Yeah. I think that's a very smart idea. I wish they did something like that with Johnny Cage. His sunglasses.
They did stuff. Yeah, they should have. Like they did, because they kind of like gave Quan some of that in Ermac, like Ermac's 212 and Quan's, back 342 have extra little stuffs in there,
Yeah, it's kind of cool, like the portal shenanigans and Ermac's kind of stuff. And...
yeah, it looks like they're doing special moves, like,
but
they're
it's
not. Really just the string.
Just the normal. I wish they'd do that more often. I really think that's...
Anyway, yeah,
cool.
So she's got a litany of bombs and stuff too. I don't...
So these are
know
pretty...
if we can go over all those. Like so many.
There's so many. And... So, well, yeah, like you said, there's so many. I think the main thing that my main takeaway I want to go over, because this is pretty standard stuff from Cyrax in the past, is that she gets a dud bomb. And that will be interesting to see how you use that and like bait people with that. And like, because I mean, you can't tell the difference. You just look at them. And that tracking, that tracking one's sick. I gotta go off on that one a little bit. That's cool.
Yeah.
And it pops them up in a little helicopter. And
we saw that in her trailer to where she ended up like in a side switch combo and she was being comboed and the grenade started tracking, like going the direction of the combo.
Bro, that's going to be so annoying.
I remember seeing the tracking. I don't know who was on the end of that combo. But yeah, it's going to be annoying.
Puts out the EX bomb and then like you go to punish her and as you're punishing her and there's bombs just trailing you and then you get popped up in the middle of your... Oh, man. I'm already salty just thinking about it. So we're kind of getting into...
Yeah, and we're kind of getting into the stuff that really caught my attention, which is the teleports.
Yeah, so the teleports, they look like they have, I would say probably close to like Raiden's teleport as far as recovery goes. All of this stuff is always subject to change, but this is all that we have, so we kind of have to go over it. What intrigued you the most about the kind of the teleporting kind of shenanigans?
So she has a couple different she's got the long teleport and the short teleport, and the longer one leaves the grenade behind, so that's kind of cool. But I like that, so she can side switch like we saw right there, but she can she can turn into a dash.
That's cool.
So you got just a little bit more of like a neutral tools to keep your opponent on their toes, right? They have to stay like really aware of what's happening. She's not going to be like quite like smoke level of stuff, and we've seen what's happened with the smoke matchup, right? Like it's knowledge check after knowledge check, but if you're familiar with that matchup, they have a really hard time getting their game started sometimes, or they have to take like more risks or do like really unorthodox things, but a big part of it is still going to be like cancels and trying to like really make you guess, like hesitate on taking your turn, and so they just take them and take them and take them. But anyway, I think that is very... I don't know. I like the idea of both of those teleports and being able to mix up the teleport with the grenade.
Yeah, I think that's super cool. I don't really know how plausible that will be in a match. I'm just trying to think of scenarios where, things like that I suppose are cool, where you dash forward and still leave the bomb as well, and then knock your opponent back into it on the other side for like a whiff punish or something. That might be nasty.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is find this is like classic labbing 101, right? Find a knockdown setup that lets you safely get out the teleport with the grenade, like on knockdown, right? That can't be beat by wake up buttons or wake up armor or wake up jumping sort of thing. And bonus points if you can get a meaty or if you've got like a mix up or something like that on top of it. but the
Right.
grenade could just facilitate basically a mix-up on knockdown if you have the hit advantage to support it. And that could come from a cameo, or that could be her main combo ender, or ending with a string instead of a special or something. Like how Natara set up Blood Sacrifice instead of doing a damage ender. You know, same sort of like idea.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
like
true.
all the I did that with Scarlet all the time in MK11. Finding ways to end on a teleport, and then you're just like right there on their nuts, waiting for them to stand up. And it'll be cool if you got a grenade.
That was a great position to be in an MK11. You loved it, knocking down your opponent in that game.
Yeah, you know.
Anyways, we're talking about this game.
A grenade, it's bomb, right? Cyrax bomb.
Bomb, grenade. I mean, I guess bomb's more detonated. That's a pedantic argument. Let's not get into that. So this grounded net is kind of interesting and not really something that I've seen them do before. I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to work. I'm not really sure what the point of it is. Like, are you just supposed to like sweep them to death? Like they're stuck. I
agree. Like you can OTG, and people seem to be freaking out. I don't understand the implications of that yet.
Yeah, I mean,
but it looks cool. It's a cool, unique thing.
Only thing that I can really see is that maybe it's to trap them for a timeout or something. But that net's cool. That's cool that it combos in the corner too.
We saw that like it had full combo carry in the trailer, but she does it further back in this. You can see that here it is right there. Yeah, and it doesn't quite. It's still like I feel like about half screen, maybe even a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean it's corner to corner action, right? So
corner mix up. So she's big corner mix ups is what I'm expecting, like with the command grab sprinkled in there to like help enforce it. And she probably doesn't even care about cornering herself with all the teleport stuff, and see how like all the side switching, like even in her little grounded combos.
Yeah, so she doesn't really care about being in the corner.
Pretty standard fatal blow launcher, it looks like. Classic bomb overhead thing. What was that, back 2? MKX back 2 looking thing.
Yeah, I like that she creates like a little mound for herself to jump off of. I think that's kind of cool. I like that little
yeah, with that same little weird foamy insulation looking stuff. That's her capture state, her net.
Yeah,
I don't know about that. Like
that looks so funky. I don't know.
It's so unsightly
and out of place. Like I don't get how it makes. I don't know. Maybe they'll explain it in the story mode, but for me, it just seems kind of out of place.
She has caulking guns in her suit, right? And she's just shooting out insulation when she needs it, because you know the glowy spider web nets and stuff. They could have easily done like a cool spider web net thing, almost like a blanket that wraps around you, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just the straight Cyrax net to differentiate it. And then the only thing that's kind of like out of place is that fatal blow and one of her fatalities that uses it.
Yeah.
Kind of wanted to give her something for her identity, right? Well, we might want to rewind to Sector. We're still talking about Cyrax.
Yeah. Let's restart this here. We got caught monologuing. The first thing that kind of go off here on is the back 2. Charge back 2. It'll be interesting to see how useful that actually becomes. Because
how long does that keep the charge? Is it just till the round's over, till somebody breaks or a fatal blow, or 10 seconds, or?
That's a good question. I don't believe they went over that. So it's interesting that you can like hold it and then keep it for later if you want to.
You can tell because her hands are glowing, right? You can tell that she has it because her hands are kind
locked
of
and loaded.
Smoldering.
Locked and loaded. And there's one of her moves that gives her a full charge on that, if I remember correctly. It might be her fatal blow. I can't remember. Overall, like good strings. Like she's gonna be really good in like the neutral game. Like I think with her forward advancing strings and all like that. Like look at that range on that overhead is gonna be a little obnoxious, I think.
Yeah, and she looks like she's gonna have a lot of evasion too, with the float cancels that I don't think have come up here yet.
No,
or not necessarily cancels, right? Just like the little jetpack floaty stuff.
Her animations look so
who's
cool.
doing work with those.
I'm excited to get my hands on this character. Man, she looks so much fun. And she has like some really decent zoning tools too. And that's on top of like her kind of neutral strings as well, which would make her super oppressive, I imagine.
Yeah, I feel like if you want to play Cyrax or Sector,
I don't really know how I feel about like her rocket launcher thing. I don't really know. I like that they brought it back, but I'm not sure how I feel about it.
The rifle?
Yeah, the rifle. I don't know.
I think it's cool. It's like Megatron or something. She's like a transformer. Big old rifle coming out of her shoulder.
That rocket looks super fun. I can't wait to mess around with this. And then look, the homing logo. You got the...
Man, what's the word for that? Like the reticle, or whatever's like the Lin Kuei thing.
Reticle sounds like something that you excrete from.
What is it?
Right in the reticle. Got him right in the reticle.
Someone will know. Someone in the comments will know.
They always do. They always correct us or tell us when they know. Flamethrower looks sick. I'm curious if the enhanced one, because I said it restands, I wonder if you can combo after the restand. Kind of like Scorpion Spear or something.
I bet you cannot. I bet you it's a way to go into setups.
That makes sense.
Right, just like the Kameo, and it's 2 hits just like the Kameo, and you can cancel after the first hit just like the Kameo. But canceling after the first hit is what gives her the restand they were saying.
Right. That makes sense. Projectile parry, of course.
That looks awesome. That looks like it would be a lot of fun.
I'm excited to get my hands on that. It looks like a fairly quick startup, too. They definitely did that on purpose. Just throw that little teaser out there. But like this, they'll just enhance her zoning even more with her good movement and her already strong projectile game, and then a projectile parry on top of all of that. I don't know. I tend to be super biased and see like the zoning potential and everything. You could have shown me Johnny Cage, and I would be like, "Oh, look at the zoning potential." You know what I'm saying?
I'm curious to see what her weaknesses are. Right, it looks like she's got nothing but strengths in this Kombat Kast, and you know she's got to have drawbacks, and there always are. We talk about this all the time, how things look ridiculously overpowered when we're watching it on a Kombat Kast or a Watchtower stream or something, and then once the character actually comes out, it's like, oh, well, this actually kind of sucks, or
yeah,
oh, it's not so bad, or
your Homelander, and you just don't function properly.
You saw like the big wave when Ermac came out, and as predicted, because he's a little bit more technical, we predicted that it was going to go the way of Enchantress, where it was just going to be like rampant for the first few weeks, then it would just thin out. Like it's just going to require a little bit too much work, or doesn't really cater to your game plan after all. Once you get some matchup experience in and stuff, and you realize how much more you like the character you tried to abandon in order to pick up a new one or whatever.
Right.
So I wonder if they're going to be like something like that, or I'm really excited for Noob. Now that we've seen these two, like I feel like that's a best for last situation.
Yeah.
And there's a, you know.
I don't know how they could do him in a new creative way is kind of what I'm curious about, you know. I'm curious. Something I wanted to see if I can pause here super
I expect
quick.
a lot of MK9.
Like Portal.
They've shown a lot of
stuff?
MK9 and characters toolkits in this game.
See if I can go frame by frame here. Oh, I fucked it up. What the fuck am I doing?
Dink's such an old man. He's just fumbling on links. He signs his text messages with his name like his grandfather. He thinks LOL means lots of love.
Grandma died. LOL.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pause it on the Kameo screen. I might just show a screenshot of this instead. But they put,
that ice cream pointed out.
Yeah, so they pointed out that they put like a casual or like a rating on the Kameos. I'm not even gonna bother anymore. I already messed this up.
They gave them a little bit more of like a description to give you an indication whether they're kind of just like a pickup cameo and you just hit buttons, or if they're a little bit more technical. 16-bit gave the example of Frost being casual with a K versus someone like Janet, who is not casual.
Definitely not casual. I still struggle with Janet stuff. I've been trying to learn Quan Chi Janet since Janet came out. I still can't do half the stuff I'm supposed to do.
So in this match, we'll see if Ice Carpet has a hit of armor at some point.
Yeah, you'd be looking for that.
And some of the Tanya changes as well.
Yeah, there's that 2-in-1 cancel that's new. Looked like something got hit there, but maybe I'm on crack. Who knows? Really fast pace. I wonder if they must like map out like every single move when they do these things, right? Just to make sure they're showing off what they're showing off.
Well, they're probably like, let's just make sure to do it, and hey, let me get a fatal blow or something. Maybe that was a cool Frost Orb.
That was
combo.
A cool Frost Orb. Look at that down 2 whiff. Going from the float into that
Okay, so
low,
overhead into that forward 3, that low. So
That's
the hover,
pretty
that's
cool.
some Ermac and Sindel shit. Even
Yeah,
Atara to a degree.
stupid Natara. Yeah, there's the 2-in-1 cancel there from the drill into the.
So she's getting
upper-
new combo paths, and as Tekken Master pointed out, it looks like the startup on the buff is a little bit slower to compensate for that.
Yeah,
I think confirmed because Ed Boon retweeted it.
Ed Boon retweeted it. I'll probably put it on the screen here while the fatal blows. We've seen Tanya's fatal blow too many times. So, which kind of tells me that they're changing how the character's played or changing how they want you to play the character. It's kind of my imagination, so I'm not sure if they're going to change. I'm assuming they're going to change something else about her to kind of, because I don't see them just straight up giving her buffs. I don't think the character's weak at any point. I don't think anyone thinks that. I wonder if the overhead is unsafe.
Well, there's the wake up, and that looks exactly the same. She's not using the Kameo that can do anything about it. Okay, the ice wall setup. So this is a feature, not a bug, right? You get them on the other side of the wall, and you can shoot a projectile through it, but they can't shoot it through you, through the wall and hit you. Their normals will, but projectiles won't.
Does that exist right now in the game? Like
yes.
Okay.
Right, and it seemed kind of buggy, right? But they did it in this. They obviously know that it exists.
I wonder if they're going to change it.
And
so
that looked like a deliberate setup.
If she can actually put the wall out in different spots, you know, like instead of just having the one default place where she puts it, like can control the space to put it. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, I don't think that. I think that's something they make you want to like work for, right? The idea is to give you a corner, so it's always going to be behind the opponent. But that'd be interesting if you could just put it up in between you.
That would
be fucked up.
That would be like a. Well, I mean, Janet already does it, and Quan does it to an extent. So I mean, wouldn't be anything super new, but it would be different. On top of the tools,
if anyone wants to test that, 2 Sub-Zero back 2s into the down Kameo with Frost for the wall, and then do a jump to 1, and it flops him right over the wall.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
That's the easiest way to do it.
And then what is Sub-Zero going to do on the other side of the wall? Just throw an ice ball?
Oh, I'll throw an ice ball? Oh, I have no idea. I'm just saying that's the way that I see it done the most.
That's fair. That's fair.
Or like the most consistently, right? Like if you just want to see it. Oh, nice little ice carpet there. Swaggy, little brutal.
That was cool.
There at the end.
And then with the little Tony Stark pose at the end there.
Yeah, with the little Tony Stark pose. So that's the second Iron Man reference.
I hope they're legally prepared for that.
I mean, that's not really, that's something, yeah, thrusters in your hands, you know? That's not really like an Iron Man thing, but we know it as like an Iron Man sort of thing.
Yeah, we see what you're doing. We see what you're doing, NRS. You're trying to get in on that Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so what do you like better, red or yellow?
I mean, I always liked red better. Like going into this, I wasn't even like it wasn't going to change my mind. You could give Cyrax the best owner in the game, and I wasn't going to play that character. I think she's cool, and I think her moveset looks super effective, but I'm not going to play that character. Sektor looks sick. Looks like you can zone, counter zone, parries, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like that's majority opinion. I might just have to go against the grain and try Cyrax instead. Because she's got the grab, and she's got the teleport.
And she's got the bombs.
We'll see what her inputs are like, and how like execution heavy and stuff. Because sometimes I like it, and sometimes I don't like it. If I feel like it's too much busy work, and the windows are like way too tight,
it's not fun.
No, but it's got some leeway, and I think she's definitely going to be the lesser played one. And that's how it's been, I think, in Mortal Kombat traditionally. Yeah,
that Sektor is a little bit more on the popular spot, I suppose. But who knows? I generally like these characters to be like have like a zone of entry, you know, not easy enough so that everyone's bandwagoning them all at the same time, right? Like it takes some effort to like really like play the character effectively. And that's what I was hoping for Quan, and that's kind of what I got. He just needs a little something. I don't really know what. At this point, everyone's saying give him 7 frame this or good pokes or whatever. And I just, at this point, I don't know. We'll see what they do to him. But we all know I could go off on that topic forever, and that's a topic for another day. So thanks everyone for listening. Appreciate it. Going through the Kombat Kast today. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like because it really helps me out. And subscribe if you haven't, because we make new videos almost every single day. Hashtag Bonox, all that stuff, and we'll see all you Bonox in the next video.
Accept your death.